Bueno, ya que pues tenemos el Game Pass, nos dimos la oportunidad de jugar un poquito Ninja Gaiden 2. Black, yo no lo jugué, el original. No jugué los Ninja Gaiden nuevos, sí, los vi speedruns, vi parte de la historia, pero sí jugué el primer Ninja Gaiden en Nintendo, ¿sabes? En el primer Nintendo. Y era bien fácil. Súper fácil. ¿Se acuerdan? Qué fácil era jugar Ninja Gaiden. Era tan fácil que nunca lo pude terminar. Vamos a ver este review. Let's go. Vamos a ver esto, corillo.
There's a moment near the end of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black where you retrace the original.
Ya que esto es, si no me equivoco, un remake.
Ninja Gaiden.
Debemos subirlo en 4K. Para roncar.
I know that level like the back of my hand, having played it over and over again on a demo disc until I could beat the first boss without getting hit. That stage is dilapidated and falling apart here.
Los bosses están difíciles, no voy a mentir.
Caused by time and the events of the first game.
Fucking hard.
Ninja Gaiden 2 never directly comments on this. It's a moment of subtlety that's very un-Ninja Gaiden. But as I ran back through those familiar stomping grounds, I had an enormous smile on my face. Like this remake as a whole, it may not be quite what it once was.
Tengo que ver si lo puedo terminar. Si soy tan bueno. No creo, pero voy a ver si lo puedo terminar. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black.
Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is supposed to be the definitive edition of Ninja Gaiden 2. This is, without equivocation, a remarkable visual upgrade to an already excellent action game. But unfortunately, it's also not the end-all, be-all edition of Ninja Gaiden 2 that the Black moniker implies. Like many of the weapons Ryu wields, 2 Black is something of a double-edged sword. Its changes cut both ways. Like previous versions, 2 Black takes place a year after the Xbox reboot of Ninja Gaiden. The story is more of an excuse for ultimate badass Ryu Hayabusa to travel the world and turn fiends and ninjas alike into limbless torsos than it is a fleshed out narrative. That said, I forgot how funny it is.
You don't know her? Neither do I.
Great of Fiends quote Shakespeare at you.
By the way, ¿sabes? Los cinematic, los bosses, el combate está nice. Es un buen jueguito para entretenerse y está en el Game Pass.
A lightning man on the Statue of Liberty. A giant four-armed werewolf named Wolf brings you to the Coliseum, which is full of other werewolves, for a duel to the death.
Ya yo veo de dónde Wukong sacó su inspiración.
All the werewolves cheer. Who do you want to kill him? And then all the werewolves are like, Wolf! And he's like, yes, I, Wolf, will kill him.
He shall be given an honorable...
Okay.
This, folks, is the best camp this side of the river. But you're not here for the plot, you're here for the combat, and on that front,
el combate está nice.
Delivers and then some. Ninja Gaiden 2's whole deal is that you can de-limb enemies, cutting off arms, legs, and even heads
gore,
as you rip through
parece un God of War 3,
opening them up for an instant execution.
Estoy loco por los nunchakos.
Injured enemies are even more dangerous. These dudes will jump on you, stab you, and blow themselves up to kill you. Unlike Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, Ninja Gaiden is not about styling on your enemies. It is about surviving. Your foes will not stand there and wait for you to...
¿Sabes? Aquí todo el mundo se te tira encima. Y a veces yo block, pero ¿por qué no bloquea? Literal, este juego es así. Nadie va a esperar a que tú vayas donde ellos. No, te van a ir a meter las manos. Todo el mundo va encima tuyo. Tienen los kamikazes también, los que, ¿sabes? Arrastrándose. Vamos a matarlos.
Luckily, Ryu isn't your typical Action Jackson pro tag. Even by genre standards, he has a ton of unique weapon options.
Uf, hay un montón de weapons. Un montón. Qué nice. Pregunta, ¿se puede repetir chapters? No recuerdo si, creo que no.
A complex moveset to learn. You haven't lived until you've pulled off the almighty Izuna drop and slammed a dude's head into the ground so hard that it explodes. In recent years, action games have leaned on parries
¿Te vieron la
and invincibility
cabeza?
frames to get you out of trouble, but that's not how 2 Black operates. Ninja Gaiden is about positioning, aggression, and mastery of both your weapons and a slew of techniques. At its best, this is a symphony of death, and you're the conductor, chaining together combos, dodging and counterattacking.
¿Se podrá acabar el juego nada más con sword?
To do this.
¿Será posible?
Ryu is always
okay.
the coolest guy on
Relax,
screen.
relax,
And when you're
relax.
talking, the enemies give off that surely I will be the guy that kills John Wick vibe.
Tú no
When
eres.
you're not, you can die very, very quickly. It's not as unforgiving as it sounds. Most of your life is restored between encounters, and there are items or blue essence to heal you in a pinch mid-combat. It's never over until it's over.
¿Y qué hace ese Titan aquí?
All that said, the camera can be a little janky and get stuck in weird places.
La cámara es
from time to time.
incómoda.
This is a
Pero-
minor annoyance, but the other notable combat problem is
así eran esos
boss
juegos.
quality. Some of them are challenging, memorable, and fun, but others, well, they can kinda suck. Either because they're not engaging to fight, or because they force you to play in ways that zap the fun from Ninja Gaiden 2's combat system. Even some of the best fights can overstay their welcome with repeated reruns.
You must be Genshin.
I mean, I love the Genshin fight, but did I really need to do it 4 times?
How many times will you stand in our way?
How many more
Todas
times do I need to
necesarias.
teach you this lesson, old man?
Genshin. Go back
Tú
to
vas a
hell.
seguir.
Between fights, you'll get to explore each level, which are linear but still reward heading off the beaten path.
Esto es un linear
It's
game.
here that you'll see the
es un
depth
God of
of
War.
2 Black's visual upgrades. Yeah, the new character models look amazing, love the new hair, Sonya, but the lighting changes and texture upgrades really make these environments pop. Ninja Gaiden 2 has always been gorgeous,
Se ve
but
lindo.
it's easy to forget how ambitious
Se ve
it
lindo.
was. These levels are huge, and the platforming sections
ser un
are
juego,
largely really enjoyable.
sabe,
I
no
particularly
nuevo.
like the one in the clock tower, running up walls
Se ve
and
muy
doing
bien
bird flips
comparado a
is
otros
fun.
juegos.
Who knew?
Our time has come. Your lifeblood shall spill, and you shall die.
So, overall, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is pretty great.
Los
If
minions
anything, though, its
son una
biggest flaw
verdadera
is that it's
molestia.
based more on the 2009
Pero está
PlayStation
bueno.
3 port Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 than it is on the original 360 version. This is a little inside baseball, but these two games are very, very different. I'm not going to go into extreme detail here because there's too much to list. So much so that Team Ninja even had to make a comparison table for all the different versions. But the differences I
Sí, hay varias versiones. Yo googleé y me quedé como que... ¿Cuál es la que estoy jugando? Y vi los bosses, etcétera. Y yo, ok,
really
ya
wanna
entendimos.
highlight are the changes to enemy density
Y los
and
cambios
health.
de la versión
Sigma
anterior
2
y esta.
substantially reduce the number of enemies on screen at once, and 2 Black follows suit. In exchange, they get more health and take longer to delimb, but are less aggressive. Even a ninja dog could tell you that these changes make combat worse. Environments are often empty and enemies feel spongy. I even went back and played the original Ninja Gaiden 2 on Series X after completing 2 Black's roughly 10-hour campaign, and it just feels faster and better. On the other hand, 2 Black does bring back the higher level of gore in the original release, as well as its better weapon
Parece ser que el
upgrade
primero
system.
corre mejor.
Even intro screens before each mission resemble the more appealing ones from the original release instead of Sigma 2's. These things may feel minor, but they matter. 2
Pero el
Black
gore se ve
also
bien.
smartly
Nice.
removes the not great giant Buddha statue and Statue of Liberty boss fight Sigma 2 added, while retaining its good additions like the Dark Dragon.
Aquí también
And
hay que
while
pelear con un
enemies are still
dragón.
spungier than in the original, they do
Esos
at least
combos
feel
cuando hace el
less
charge
spongy than
está
Sigma 2,
bien
and there
exagerado.
seem to be more of them. New levels where
Okay.
you play as Rachel, Mamaji, and Ayane are also a welcome inclusion from Sigma 2. None of these characters have Ryu's expansive kit, so there isn't as much depth to them, but they all feel unique and are fun to play as, especially in one-off chapters. Finishing the campaign unlocks additional costumes for every character, as well as chapter challenges if you want to replay chapters and compete for a high score, though there aren't online leaderboards this time. Lastly, there are some bugs here and there. It crashed on me once, and I saw a few texture bugs in extremely funny places.
Por el momento en que he jugado no he tenido
enemies
bugs.
behind it failed to open. The latter was admittedly really funny, as I
Pero
heard
normal,
rocket
estos juegos son
ninjas
así.
shooting at me from inside a train.
Yo vengo de una era donde había tantos bugs que a nosotros ni nos importaba. Mario 64 era uno de ellos.
But it did mean that I had to restart from my last checkpoint to fix it.
Benedict, let's go. Let's see what you got. Show me
Ninja
what
Gaiden 2
you
Black
got.
is neither Ninja Gaiden 2 nor Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, but instead a secret third thing that mixes both versions together to create something that is wholly unique and
El
by
combate
far
se
the
ve
most
nice.
beautiful version of this excellent
By the way,
action game
los
yet.
clips en TikTok
While I have a hard time
insane.
calling it the definitive release because I prefer the original's more dudes who are more aggressive but die faster approach, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is a definite improvement over Sigma 2, fixes several long-standing issues, and unlike the original, isn't trapped on the Xbox 360. It isn't the version I was hoping for, get on it modders, but it's still an incredible game and I'm happy it exists. If this is really it for Ninja Gaiden 2, it will at least go out on a high note.
You watch
This
that?
trip through time reminded me that while you can't go home again and nothing will ever truly be like it was, that doesn't mean something can't still be beautiful. Ninja Gaiden 2
Gracias.
is remarkable, even with its flaws, and it's good to finally have it.
Un 8. Y Eternal Strand le dieron un 7. Pero he visto cosas peores. By the way, este jueguito se merece ese 8. No voy a mentir. Es un buen juego para, ¿sabes? Entretenerte casual. Bueno, no tan casual. Pero entretenerte. Está en el Game Pass. ¿Sabes? Si tienes Xbox o PC Game Pass, puedes ir y bajarlo y ya. Disfrutar de él. Yo voy a ver si lo puedo terminar. ¿Seré tan bueno para terminarlo? A veces me hago esa pregunta. Veo a esta gente metiéndole tan esa brigo. ¿Podré yo acabarlo? ¿Quién sabe? Carillo, no olviden que me pueden seguir.
That's one small step